Can you solve all these transition metals questions? Gold is what kind of metal? Well articulated, transition. Transition elements are dash. Correct response, metals. Transition metals can be used as dash. Smart thinking, catalyst. Which is a chemical property of metals? Perfect choice, reactivity. Which element is not a transition metal? Commendable response, cadmium. What are elements in groups 312 called? Transition elements is correct. The transition elements are in groups dash. 312? Which of these is not a transition element? Solid response, rubidium. This transition metal has multiple charges. Right choice, manganese. Which element is written first in a compound? Logical choice, transition metal. What side of the periodic table are metals on? Yes, left is right. Which group of elements have a shiny appearance? Transition metals, well done. The majority of elements on the periodic table are Brattles. Identify the metal that is not a transition metal. Well supported, sodium. Which compound does not contain a transition metal? Well expressed, SU4. This bonding involves two nonmetals or two hydrogens. Exactly, Covalent. This transition element has the chemical symbol Ag. Silver, great work. Which transition metals is useful for living things? Rhyron. Which transition metal listed below is very valuable? Thoughtful answer, platinum. In the following, which one is not a transition metal? Spot ready! Which transition metal have to be used to get bronze? Nicely done, copper. Of all known elements, transition metals make up about. Very good, 60%. Which of the following element is not transition metal? Strong answer, zinc. Which of the following is not a transition metal? Excellent work, tin. Transition metal solution is purple. What is its formula? Well reasoned, manganate No4. Which transition metal is known for its magnetic properties? Nice work, iron. When metals bond with nonmetals, they form what type of bonds? Precise answer, ionic. Which transition metal is commonly used in electrical wiring? Outstanding effort, copper. Which transition metal is used in stainless steel production? Confident and correct, chromium. Which of the following transition metals has a fixed charge? That's accurate, Zn. Which of the following is not a characteristic of most metals? Valid point, brittle. Transition metals include the only elements that can produce a... Good job, magnetic field! Give the color of the following transition ions. Iron iron. You got it green! Which of the following metals gets a Roman numeral in its name? That's it, lid. What is the most abundant transition metal in the Earth's crust? Keep it up, iron. Which transition metal is more stable in higher oxidation state? Excellent reasoning, hafnium. What are metals and their compounds in the Earth's crust called? Clear and correct, minerals. Which of the transition elements exhibit highest oxidation state? Well done, manganese. Which transition metal is known for its use in jewelry and coins? Great job, gold. How many electrons do the alkali metals have in their outer shell? Accurate answer 1. Which transition metal is commonly used in making stainless steel? Accurate answer chromium. Which transition metal is used as a catalyst in alkene hydrogenation? Good job, nickel. Which one of these transition metals typically forms linear complexes? Silver, well done. The only transition metal that is not a solid at room temperature is? Strong answer, mercury. Haber process is catalyzed by which transition metal? Iron is correct. What transition metal is used to catalyze the hydrogenation of alkenes? Right, nickel. Which of the following transition metals forms square planar complexes? Clear and correct, palladium. Choose the wrong pair of the symbol and the name of the transition metals. Well reasoned, co-copper. Give an example of an ionic compound with a transition metal and its name. Smart thinking, copper sulfide. Which transition metal is used as a catalyst to make ammonia? Valid point, iron. Which oxidation number is most common among the first row transition elements? Well supported, +2. Which group of elements are generally good conductors of heat and electricity? Thoughtful answer, transition metals. This transition metal is used in steel, doesn't rust, and is the hardest metal. Outstanding effort, chromium. The correct oxidation number for the transition metal in this compound is K2CrO4. +6. Transition metals can be stretched into wires. What is the name of this property? Perfect choice, ductile. Which transition metal was noted as having the largest number of oxidation states? Yes, manganese is right. Which of the following transition elements is used as a catalyst in Haber's process? Fe. Which one of the following electronic configurations is that of a transition element? That's it, 4 Zads. Which metals form white or colorless compounds when reacting with water? Right choice, alkali metals. Which family dash? Great job, lanthanides! How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Well articulated, contact Narayan Changder.